Oh, there are my bets.
Oh,
You're coming off a long weekend. You're coming off the holiday weekend. That's what you get sometimes. How's it
we're
going, everybody?
going
Welcome
into
in.
the
Huh?
late end of the season too, man. It's just been every day
I'm
here.
stumbling coming into the end of the thing here. So, what's going on, guys? It's payoff pitch, of course. We're live every single day at 11:30 a.m. Eastern time. He's the squirrel. I wish I had a cool nickname. I got to cook up a cool nickname every day. Every day I'm always like, that's the squirrel, and here's just Jason. I need to come up with a nickname. So, with that being said, guys, you know what we're here to do. We're here to run through some baseball. We hope everybody's doing well. Squirrel, first inning, quick hits. We give people what's off the top of their head. I've got two thoughts. One is teams are sandbagging. It looks like coming down the stretch. There's only 5 teams hitting 275 or greater right now. 5 teams. 5 teams. Normally, when we're going through stats, we're rifling stuff out. You get 10 to 12. 5 teams. Everybody in Major League Baseball is looking forward to summer, or looking forward towards winter. Sorry, they're all looking towards the
Who's
holiday.
this guy? Do you remember? You remember this dude? What was his name? Anibal? Anibal Sanchez?
Don't get me
What
started.
happened yesterday?
Guy.
What was that? What was that?
Dude was pitching lights out. He took my money. I tell you that. Took my money.
Dude was at home on a couch eating Doritos and
2 months
here we
ago.
are.
Wasn't even in the bigs.
Bro.
3 months ago, whatever it was. So tough stuff right there. Hey, we got to figure out.
Did you realize?
We want to take. Huh?
Do you realize? I think there were 4 teams that got completely shut out yesterday.
Yeah, Cardinals were one. I backed the Cardinals. Yeah.
Cardinals were one. I had another one.
Padres, Rangers.
The Tigers.
Padres, Rangers. Oh yeah, Tigers. Oh yeah, 2 of the teams I backed yesterday couldn't even score 1 run, let alone.
I backed the Tigers as well yesterday. I thought I was getting way too much. What was it, plus 160? I think it was, and oh my lord, from the first inning. Oh no, it was a bad ordeal. I was like 7-0. I just turned it off, man. I was done. So I had a massive card yesterday. I went 7 bets, and everything felt like a sweat. I was sweating out. The White Sox. They were Liam Hendricks was the closer there, and I feel fairly comfortable when he's pitching. But there we are, 90 feet away from a run to tie the game. I'm pissed. Cardinals get shut out. I'm pissed. Guardians.
Cardinals had bases loaded in the first, and then when they didn't get a run, I knew at that moment that bet was sunk. I said, okay, something's bad. I'm feeling bad about this.
Then the Guardians had to go into the 10th inning or whatever, 10th, 11th inning. Oh, dude, it's just never easy, man. That's just how I felt. I was like, I just sit there, I'm looking at the team, I'm like, this is just never easy. It just isn't.
It's never easy over the course of 180 games. Hey, man, we got to talk. We want to get the pulse of the viewing audience right here. We're trying to figure out when we want to end the payoff pitch. Obviously, soccer, at least from my own perspective, I do 3 soccer shows a week. I watch a lot of soccer. But now NFL is starting up, and that's going to take up a lot of time. We're going to crank out some NFL shows and NFL content here. So wondering if do we end payoff pitch this Friday, maybe next Friday? What is the people out there? If you've been enjoying this show and you've been quietly sitting back, Squirrel and I see all the people who are watching this. It gets us pumped up by the number of views. But now's your time to chime in. If you want to let your voice be heard, what do you think? This Friday, next Friday? Doesn't mean the baseball bets will end. We'll, of course, be firing out bets on hockeysquirrel.com and on our various Twitter handles. But in terms of this daily show, thinking about maybe putting a wrap on it, putting a bow on it, and ending it. So, but
I mean, from my perspective, I mean, you've talked about NFL or college football's back as well. I kind of looked into some of that. I had a few bets that I gave out myself last Saturday here, but I personally don't really want to go much more than next Friday, and the reason being is the weekend after that is the start of preseason NHL, and that's going to be my take all my time being the Hockey Squirrel, of course. But my website is very, very well updated. There's a ton of stuff that's brand new on that website that will become available September 24th, I believe, is the first day of preseason. October 8th, I think, is the first day of regular season. So, another thing I've been thinking about doing, and I don't know if I'm going to get any viewership on this or not, I just think it would be fun, is in my downtime in those like long afternoons of waiting for games to start at 6-7 p.m. I think I might start streaming myself doing NHL on like Twitch, like video game NHL.
Oh, okay. Cool.
I think that'd be fun. That's something I'm going to be really into in my downtime of heading into the fall and winter. So I thought that'd be cool, but Don't end it, just slow it down. I don't know how we would do that.
No, I know what he meant. The way you said that was funny, not the actual comment. All right, let's just jump into this. Let's give these guys some money on this great Tuesday. Hey, at least you didn't rage bet and really get hosed by those Tigers. I took a bad.
You don't
beat
know
yesterday.
that.
No, well, everybody knows that. I put it out on Twitter. I took a bad beat on yesterday, and I threw some more units at that Tigers F5 team total. That didn't. That didn't go well. I'm still bitter. I'm not bitter about the rage bet. I'm bitter about the loss. Like the rage bet, whatever is Tigers F5 team total. I'll throw 1,000 units at that bet and be okay with it. But yeah, that was all right. Let's get these guys some money. That's what we got to do around here. Let's jump into the second inning. We call it around the bases. Let's talk some baseball here. Let's see what we've got going on. I like Brian's comment too. Maybe we do every other day. All right, keep those comments coming. We're here for you guys, so we value your input. So let us know. That being said, how do you want to kick off this show and around the bases? What do you got?
I'll go really light with some things that probably aren't even going to happen. They might happen. Who knows? But if they do, I'm liking the under in either this Phillies game or more particularly the Yankees and Twins game. I'm seeing the potential for rain, which is why I'm saying that it may not happen. But with a 10-mile-an-hour wind inward and a 58% chance of rain is what I'm seeing, which if you are a user of something like RotoWire, the game is highlighted red or like pinkish red as, a likelihood that it might not happen. But if you get a 10-mile-an-hour wind blowing in, you get pitchers like Garrett Cole and Joe Ryan with rain. If that game is to happen, we have under 7 or under 6.5, incredibly low totals. But under 6.5 has happened 114 times in 2022, has only cashed the over 43% of the time. So you're looking at almost 57% basically of unders at 6.5. You throw in the wind, the good pitching, the rain. If it is to happen, it doesn't hurt just to have a bet on it, even if it gets canceled. Might as well. So I don't mind the under in either of those games if it's something that people are going to ask us about anyway. If it's going to be a question of, hey, what do you think of this under? That's what we think. That's what I think anyway.
Okay, good. I like that. You got the stats to back it up, but then also you add in that weather factor to your point, even if the game happens. I like that. Hey, you like an under. I also like an under. I like the under in Mets Pirates. I don't know. Maybe while I'm speaking, you can look up the weather. If it's going to rain in Philly, it may be raining in Pittsburgh. Maybe you can let me know. But I like the under 8.5 at -108. Pirates have cashed 5 straight under 8.5s in 7 of their last 8. And so have the Mets. They've also cashed in their last 8 games. 7 of those 8 games have stayed under 8.5. Both of these offenses are struggling. Clearly, by the fact that they're cashing unders, they're struggling. They're only hitting 219 and 200, and neither team is bringing any power to the plate at 320 and a 322 slugging percentage. Both of these bullpens are clearly on a good run. The fact that they're cashing unders at both 7 of the last 8, I'm going to take under 8.5. Not expecting much of the Mets, or not expecting much of the Pirates, and the Mets are full on struggling. You got a good Pirates bullpen right now. Mitch Keller is going to treat us right and keep this game under 8.5. So I like that under Mets Pirates under 8.5. What's another game for you?
One that severely pissed me off yesterday that we've already kind of mentioned, but I kind of want to go back to the Cardinals again. Take the run line there at -120 going against Paulo Espino, who already has a 0-6 record. Unless, again, the Cards just don't show up. But really, I mean, against the Nationals, against a guy of the quality of not only Anibal Sanchez yesterday, but today Paulo Espino, they should, and especially getting shut out, should give them a significant chance to put up some runs. I couldn't believe what I was seeing yesterday. In all honesty, though, I saw so many balls launched back to the warning track by the Cardinals. They just would not go over the wall. I know that they have it there. I'm not going to say that one day is going to make me drop them completely. It was a frustrating experience, don't get me wrong, but I'll go back in today for many of the same reasons as yesterday. I don't think I should feel too afraid on that.
That's why you're a professional. You don't let a bad result get you off of a good bet. Like that right there. Hey, what about that Rangers F5 team total over 1.5? Has anybody considered that? We've talked about here how the Rangers are smoking left-handed pitching. Remember, we got 2 cashes last week on their F5 team totals. One of those against Framber Valdez of the Astros. Hey, look who they're playing again today. Now, we got it on the hook in the 5th inning. It took 2 solo home runs to get there, with one of them coming in the 5th inning. What do you guys think? Rangers F5 team total over 1.5? All right, stay until the end, see if that makes the official card, but that has to be under consideration. We got it against Framber Valdez at plus 120. It's now plus 150 today, a week later. Same matchup, same everything. It's plus 150. Not quite sure why I understand that, but let's see if that makes the official card later. Let's shut up. Let's give these guys some pitching props. That's what we'll do here in the 3rd inning. Shut up and pitch. I'm going to go ahead and lead off with the cash cow. It's over 3.5.
Mitch Keller.
Mitch Keller, baby. You knew it was coming. You know what? That's another reason I knew yesterday wasn't going to go my way. I bet on Mitch Keller yesterday, and that game got rained out. Nothing.
Oh, no.
It just seemed like it was one of those days where everything was against me. They wouldn't even let me cash the cash cow yesterday. Today's the day we can go ahead and cash him. Oh, it's over 3.5 Ks. Just told you how that Mets offense is struggling. Only hitting 219 with no power. They're striking out. I'm going to go ahead and ride Mitch Keller. He's incorporated a power sinker into his repertoire. And you see the Pirates are just letting him go longer. They're trying to develop this guy into being a quality starter. You see it. I mean, there was an outing last time. He got 10 strikeouts. It's there. He clearly can't bring the consistency, and the Pirates are doing what they can to try and get it out of him. Even if he gets roughed up by the Mets, they're still going to let him trot out there for 5 or 6 innings. So, like his ability to go over 3.5 Ks in that process. You can find that bet at plus money. I gave it out last night at minus money. Pretty good minus money at minus 130, but you can go get it at plus money. So, you get much better price than what I got. You got a pitching prop today?
I was just looking among the teams that strike out the most. It's kind of feels unplayable, although we already like an under here in the Phillies and Marlins game. The Marlins strikeout rates are ungodly bad. I think you were saying their bullpen's pretty terrible as well, weren't you? Or was their batting average that was lowest? I think they're terrible all around. Probably doesn't matter.
Yeah, it does.
But Aaron Nola's line is over under 7.5 for strikeouts. That seems unreal, does it not?
Yeah. No, the Marlins are god awful. They have the worst bullpen. I think it's the worst bullpen in baseball right now too.
Yeah, it's all around. Probably doesn't matter. He has put up 8, 9, 10, 11 strikeouts per game just against pretty much everyone he's gone against. Then you put him against the worst, one of the worst strikeout teams, worst all-around teams in general. Seems really high, but I think he could probably get that done. Otherwise, I haven't looked at game logs for somebody like Rodriguez of the Eduardo Rodriguez of the Detroit Tigers, but I'm wondering if that's something he could achieve as well at over 4.5 against the Angels. No, shaking our heads.
Shaking our head. I like your Nola one. We obviously speak before the show. I knew you were going to come out with that one. I've got a couple here that the stats, man, really make it so like it's not worth paying the juice what the sports books are offering just based on what the stats are. So over on FanDuel, you can do alternate strikeouts. You can take a guy, maybe go one step down than what his real number is. At, let's say it's 5.5. You can just take him at have 5 or more. So you're giving yourself that extra little cushion right there. Tyon Walker, he's one of those candidates. If you wanted to do an alternate strikeout number, it's within your right. If you want to also do Framber Valdez, I expect maybe the Rangers get a couple of runs, but boy, he just shreds them every time in terms of strikeouts. What about Shane Bieber against the Royals? He's another one if you want to go ahead and parlay. And Kyle Wright of the Braves. So those 4 guys, if you want to kind of hop over to FanDuel and tinker with their numbers and bring them down a little bit and parlay a couple of guys, I wouldn't do their real numbers because the juice is unacceptable with what the stats are from a strikeout percentage. But maybe you take a couple of those guys and you do a little parlay with them. I think that's more than justified. So, all right, 4th inning now, long shots. There's some dogs out there we think's got some bark, and we think there are some dogs that are barking today. We each got good ones. Why don't you give them one of yours that you really like?
I'll give them 2 out of the 3 because I know one is yours. So
yeah, don't give them mine. Otherwise, I got nothing.
I guess. Not the one that you took. So I was looking at the Red Sox to have a legitimate chance with Rich Hill on the mound. Plus 140 there. It's just a straight up system play. And on the same exact system that I have that I like to play underdogs out of, it's 46% win rate. So I had 2 underdogs yesterday and I played both of them. It was the Texas Rangers and it was the Detroit Tigers. Texas Rangers lost 0-1, very close game. Tigers didn't show up. Got blown out completely. But of the 3 today, I think there's a decent chance that all 3 actually win. And with 46% chance and 2 losing yesterday, I feel like I have a pretty good chance of doing well on these today. really it just comes down to system plays between the Reds, the Red Sox, and what do you have?
What do you have?
What do you have?
I was
What do you
responding.
have?
I was responding to Joe in the chat. Oh, you mean on what?
What's the third one? What's the third one?
Oh, the third dog. Sorry, it's Diamondbacks, folks. Diamondbacks at plus 140. Don't be scared of these Padres. Juan Soto ain't doing jack in a Padres uniform. The Diamondbacks are crushing right-handed pitching. Meanwhile, the Padres, they ain't doing anything. The Padres have way cooled off for its right-handed pitching, only hitting 228, where the Diamondbacks are way up to 289. They're slugging 460, so offensive advantage. Got to go ahead and give it to the Diamondbacks. Let's go to that bullpen. Oh, there's a nice bullpen stats for you. You get the advantage there with the Diamondbacks, albeit it's not the greatest, but it is an advantage. They do it all better across the board than the Padres. And then let's look at these starters. How about Merrill Kelly? This guy is pitching absolutely outstanding, coming off a shutout performance against the Brewers. Joe Musgrove is obviously solid in his own right, but I'll take from the stats what is a better starter if you want to take in current form. Give me the better starter. Give me the better offense. Give me the better bullpen. Diamondbacks, check, check, check. At plus 140, I think they're an excellent, absolutely excellent dog.
And when you think about it, at plus 140, plus 140, plus 140, all three are exactly the same price. Red Sox, the Diamondbacks, and the Reds, okay? If we're saying we're expecting 46% on a system play, we're getting plus 140, which plus 150 is 40%. So we're, getting some at least value there in the line with what we're expecting versus the implied. But also, if you're telling me, even if the stats were dead even at plus 140, I'm going to grab it. If I'm getting any bit of an edge, right? You said it wasn't a massive edge, but they'd still do all better.
They do it all better.
And I'm getting plus 140 on that. Hey, remove the brand name of Joe Musgrove. It's a good pitcher, right? I'm not going to sit here and tell you Joe Musgrove's not good, but is that worth minus 165 for you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I think people get a little too attached to brand name pitchers and whatnot, and they don't always win. We've seen this over and over and over. It's why you get the last leg of the 10-team parlay and somebody loses their minus 400 because Max Scherzer didn't come through for that day. You know what I mean?
You say you can't look at the back of the jersey, but damn, I can't help but notice there's a game that's got a guy named Bieber taking on Bubik. Are you kidding me? I'm going to look at the back of the jersey on those ones, and I'm going to blindly back those Guardians. We'll talk about that a little bit later.
I will too, but on a run line for that matter, though.
Alternate run line. Give it to me. Give me like minus 8.5 on the run line. We're going to beat his butt up. All right, let's. What inning are we in? Fifth inning. Keep swinging. Did you have any hitting props, or do you want to give the people some winners?
There really aren't a ton, at least in terms of guys that I would expect to do damage. I was in the midst of looking at guys that were going to not do damage.
I got one, and it made my card. I'm going to do something different. I'm going to take a guy to not get a hit.
Yeah, go for it.
Hunter Dozier there of the Kansas City Royals. He's 3 for 14 against Shane Bieber. We've mentioned that bullpen there for the Guardians once Bieber's out of the game. Guys, the ERA is 1.96. The whip is 0.82. The opponent's batting average is 137. Normally, I don't like taking unders because you don't know what's coming out of that bullpen. What's coming out of that damn Guardians bullpen? It's absolutely electric, and it's just shutting games down at the end of the game. So I'll take Dozier. He ain't gonna do anything against Bieber because he ain't done anything in his career against him, and I will gladly take that Guardians bullpen. So I'm taking him at plus money to not get a hit. Dozier at plus 115 to not get a hit. To your point, there was only Brian Anderson stats wise that looked good against today's starters. So I figured I'd look at it from a different angle.
Oh man, yeah, I just came across the stats. 24 at bats, 3 hits for Hunter Dozier. That's rough.
Yeah, it is rough. And Bieber, we all know Bieber.
It's rough, dude. It's so rough.
And that bullpen, man. I messed with that. So, all right.
Yeah.
We move on now to It's a Steal.
We can. And my steal is going to be that run line on the Guardians, as we talked about. Chris Bubich, absolutely awful. Kansas City Royals, the bullpen, absolutely awful. The only thing that's good about the Kansas City Royals is the fact that their offense isn't really the worst. To be entirely honest with you, they are, I think, in most things, in the top 10. They actually can hit. They have hit. But where they just lose game after game after game comes from that bullpen. And if you're giving up that much of a starting edge between Bieber and Bubich, not a chance, in my opinion. I will take the gift of an away team favorite on the run line, minus 115. That's not much to pay for the discrepancies you're getting in this game. I will call it my steal with a resounding yes.
Shop around. You can get a minus 113. Shop around, guys. You can get a currently minus
There
113. I mentioned that because I did just buy a minus 113 about 30 minutes ago before this show. I checked while you were talking. Yep. It's still minus 113. You're right.
Perfect.
That's one of those bets where you just bet it and live with the result. And if you're going to bet something today, I don't see how you don't bet the Guardians run line. Just massive advantages across the board. Yep. Even if Bubik somehow shoves and can match Bieber, boy, those bullpen discrepancies are just absolutely enormous. So, Guardians run line all day long. Hey, I like to give out a nerf in the sixth inning. Let's talk the best nerf of the day. Who's got the best nerf today? I bet you guys can guess it. You guys already bet it? Who bet it? Anybody in the comments? Anybody knows what the best nerf of the day is? And this is stat driven. This isn't, it's always stat driven, at least with me.
If it happens, I like the Twins and Yankees, but it's probably not what you're going to say.
No. Yankees are one of the best Yankee teams. They're top 3 in nerfs.
Okay.
It's the Diamondbacks Padres. Diamondbacks Padres with Kelly and Musgrove. I got it at minus 108. Let's get it, boys. You got two teams that struggle. Padres, we've taken the nerfies against them before. Diamondbacks taking their nerfies. All these teams. So Musgrove, Kelly, both of them are dealing. Kelly's on a hell of a roll. Absolutely hell of a roll. So, all right, that's going to be the nerfie today. It's Diamondbacks, Padres, minus 108. 7th inning, coming to a stretch. Yeah, it's surprising you already used those Guardians. I thought that was going to be your best bet of the day. So what are you going to roll with? Are you double dipping and just going to say Guardians?
No, I'll try to come up with something else. I don't know what we haven't talked about, really. I think we've talked about every game on the board, except I don't think we've talked about the Blue Jays and Orioles, which I didn't particularly really look at. I think I'll go back and say the Cardinals after getting shut out. I'll grab them on the run line against Paulo Espino. But
okay. All right.
I don't know. Have you looked at this Blue Jays game? I mean, I don't know. Minus 110 looks kind of weird.
Yeah, I mean, Blue Jays are strong. Orioles, look at the stats. Orioles are going to hang. That's going to be a nice competitive series. And, the Orioles will be right in there, I think, until the end, even though last night got a little bit away from them. Yeah. You know the best bet on today's board, though? It's that Red Sox F5 team total, over 1.5 runs at plus 125. They are hot versus right-handed pitching. In fact, they are so hot they are number 1 right now versus right-handed pitching. They're hitting 305, 380 on-base percentage, 477 slugging, 857 OPS, walk rate above 10%, which we love, and the strikeout rate is great at 21.5, so love it. Rasmussen may be on a roll. If you look at his card, you're like, damn, he's been on a roll. Well, he's played the Marlins, bottom 5 versus right-handers. He's gone against the Angels, bottom 10 versus right-handers. He's gone against the Orioles right now, currently bottom 10 versus right-handers, and he's gone against the Tigers. They can't hit their way out of a wet paper bag versus a right-hander. And the Blue Jays, well, they're only hitting 226 versus right-handers. So the dude may be on a roll, but he ain't going to go up against an offense like this and the Red Sox that are just smoking. So I thought this was going to be 2.5 at plus money. You gave me at 1.5 at plus money. I had to bet it, and I think it's so great with how it marries with the Red Sox offensive numbers right now versus right-handers. It's the best bet of the day. 8th inning now, double play. We got to give these guys a parlay. What two teams do you like to drop in a two-legged parlay for today?
I don't know how I feel about plus 110 when I put two money lines together. You know what I'm saying? Like if I put the Cards and the Guardians together, it's like, I don't know. Does it just not feel like enough to you at some point when you need two teams to win? When anything can happen? I mean, I think that's a very likely to win game or parlay.
Which one? You said Cardinals you said Cardinals and Guardians?
Mm-hmm. If you put two money lines together, I would think those are the two most likely to win, but I'm only getting plus 111 out of it. I don't know. What do you have?
Two better ones, but I don't like to say that as if your parlay was, not good. I think the Cardinals and Guardians both win. But how can you not like the Phillies today? They're smoking left-handed pitching. I don't really know why I'm not on their F5.
If the game happens, yes.
To be honest, Phillies are hitting 317 versus left-handers. They're slugging 423. I don't know why I'm not on that. Well, I know why, because I've dropped them here in my parlay. I don't like to double dip. Marlins, they can't hit right-handers. They're only hitting 178. We talked about that bullpen for the Marlins. They're worse in the league. Absolutely worse in the league. Their opponent's batting average is 330. Their BABIP is 449. They're the only team allowing 400 BABIP per greater. Marlins are terrible from that bullpen. So I think the Phillies are an absolute lock to go ahead and get it done today. And I think you can go ahead.
As long as the game is played, right?
Yeah, as long as the game's played. I'm not a weatherman. I'm a sports better guy.
I'm part meteorologist, apparently.
The other one here today is the Brewers up over the Rockies. Brewers hitting 264. The Rockies are hitting 171. Rockies are slugging 244. The Brewers are slugging 389. You want to move, 411. My apologies. You want to move on into the bullpen. You're getting the same advantages in the bullpen. Starters, I'll take Woodruff over Chad Kuhl. So I think that's your parlay of the day. I think you've got a good one. I think I've got a good one in Phillies Brewers at plus 128. All right, we got to give these guys our official bets, and then let's talk about every single game. I don't have yours, so while the people read mine, why don't you give them what your bets are?
I'm not joking. I think I'm going to have a big card today. I think I'm going to go with the Diamondbacks on the money line.
Love that.
Love it. I think I'm going to take the Red Sox on the money line at a plus 140.
Okay.
I have yet to decide on the Reds. I want to dive deeper into that game, but as a system play on the underdog money line, it is a system play. I just don't know yet about the starting and the whole 9 yards. So I'll go with those two for sure. I'm gonna take the Guardians on the run line. I'm gonna take the Cardinals on the run line. So there's four for sure that I'm gonna play. I'm gonna skip the Mariners. I don't see enough value at plus 150. Minus 150 for them.
Okay.
I might give the Tigers another look today. They're only plus 115. They got shut out yesterday. Might have a little bit of an effect. And then, again, if the Twins and Yankees are played or if the Phillies and Marlins are played, I like the under in both of those games. So I might place those bets just in case they don't get rained out and they do get played with a 10-mile-an-hour wind inwards, rain, Garrett Cole, Joe Ryan. I have to take my chance there. And the fact that 6.5s have only cashed 43% of the time on the over. So we're getting 57% systematically on the under. I would take under 6.5 in that Twins and Yankees game today if it's played.
Love it. All right, let me hop on into BetUS and let's talk about all these games from a money line, run line, over-under perspective. So let's do that right now. Here we go. Jumping on into it. Hit the button to pull up the bets.
Hit the button. While you're at it, hit the like button. Hit the subscribe button. Go over to hockeysquirrel.com. Go subscribe to Hockey Squirrel on YouTube.
Looks like it is going to be raining there on the East Coast. All right, here, let's have it right here. All right, Mets, Pirates, over-under of 8.5. Mets minus 215. Pirates plus 185. I love the under so much it obviously made my card, as you guys can see right there.
There's so much money on the Pirates. I'm going to tell you on the money line that is
what do we
15% of bets, 80% of the money on the Pirates at a plus 190.
Oh,
massive.
Oh man, I don't know. Oh, whew. Them people are braver than me. Wow, just take the under. You're just back two good bullpens, back two offenses that are struggling. Just take the under. Take the under 8.5. What about those Red Sox going on against the Rays with an over-under of 7? Red Sox plus 140, Rays minus 165. I like your pick of the Red Sox. I obviously think they'll get some damage done. It's my best bet today in terms of a team total. I'll take your Red Sox at plus 140.
Cool. I will too.
Marlins and Phillies with an over-under of 7. Marlins plus 190. Phillies minus 225. I will take the under 7. I'm going to trust Luzardo here.
Looks like it opened 7.5. Came down a half point. It's at 7, 80% of the money there. I like it due to the wind and rain. I like it due to the Marlins. Can't hit, can't do shit. Nola should get a ton of strikeouts. Should be a one-sided game, so I think if it's going to go over, it's going to have to be the Phillies doing some major damage.
Okay. Good.
So
love that
under
right
7 for me. Mm-hmm.
All right, Twins and Yankees, over-under of 6.5. Twins plus 165. Yankees minus 195. I don't know what it is. The Yankees, they own the Twins. They're their daddy for sure.
Oh, dude, I know. We talked about this before. I don't want to talk about it.
I think I'm going to, because of that, if the game happens, I'm getting Cole. I'm getting it. I'm taking the Yankees. I'm taking the Yankees.
Okay, cool. How? On the money line?
On the run line. Sorry, yeah, no, on the run line.
Run line? Okay, cool. Again, I like the wind, the rain, the Garrett Cole, the pitching, the whole 9. Game came out 7, looks like. Moved down to 6.5. Money's there again. And for all those reasons, I will take another under as previously stated.
All right. Blue Jays and Orioles with an over-under of 8.5. Minus 110 up against minus 110. Mitch White up against Kyle Bradish. I will take over 8.5 runs.
I like that too. I don't want to try to pick a winner. Yeah. I think if the Toronto Blue Jays are going to show up, I would rather have an over than trying to go against a struggling team. You know what I'm saying?
Like
if they're going to show up and smash a bunch of runs for the minus 110, I guess against a minus 120 is what I'm seeing on an over 8.5. For the 10 cents, I'll probably just take the over. Yeah, I like it. And I know the Orioles can get hits and runs and whatnot, so I'm with you.
All right, Reds and Cubs are up next with an over-under of 8. We got the Reds at plus 140. The Cubs are at minus 165. I will take... Man, if you like juice, I would just take the Cubs on the money line if you don't mind the juice right there.
I have a system play going the other way at the plus 140 price of the Reds. Again, it's nothing I've dove into too particularly hardcore yet as far as stats and whatnot go, but just off the surface, as far as a system play goes and the money distribution, it does back the Reds, so I will take that.
Nationals and Cardinals with an over-under of 7.5. Nationals at plus 210. Cardinals minus 250.
After a shutout yesterday, it's the Cards run line. Even though they're at home for me, I'll play another minus 120. I just can't foresee them having a similar result.
Rangers and Astros over-under of 7.5. Rangers plus 225. Astros minus 265. As you can see, that Rangers team total did not make my official card. The reason is, folks, they've actually cooled off their left-handed pitching. They were smoking left-handed pitching last week. It's cooled off a touch. Like, I like to find teams that are hitting 275 or greater. They're slugging 400 or greater. Their OP on-base percentage is also kind of in line, 100 points higher than the average. The Texans have kind of dropped off just a touch. That made me just a touch nervous that they couldn't get it done against Valdez. But I'm going to stick to those Rangers. They're going to get it done. Back-to-back starts against them. They're going to show up. Or you could just take over 7.5. Either way.
Just to get out of this one so I don't have to skip it, I'll say like quarter or half unit on the Rangers money line. Just because it's a plus 225, I don't know if they're really deserving of that much.
Are we just going to skip Guardians Royals?
Yeah, just as long as we're both on the run line for the Guardians, yeah. Chris Bubich is absolutely terrible. Number one worst bullpen in the entire world for the Kansas City Royals. They're absolutely awful. There's no reason to back them at all today. So.
Literally no reason. All right, Brewers and Rockies with an over-under of 11. Brewers minus 190. Rockies plus 160. I'll just say Brewers run line just to be a touch different. But, yeah, they're obviously a parlay piece to me. I like them a lot in this spot.
Yes, I do too. Even when I was looking at what we do as batter props or pitcher props or whatever, it looks like Woodruff has gotten the better of a lot of the Rockies, including Charlie Blackmon and whatnot, which is among some of their better players. I don't expect too much, although they are at home. But tomorrow is a better spot for what I would think is going to be a good over position for a lefty versus lefty game in Colorado. Grab it before it goes up. I would take a look at it. It's at 11.5, minus 110 right now is something I wanted to mention for tomorrow.
Love the look
ahead. That's a 2:10 p.m. game. Yeah.
So what is that, Lauer versus Freeland?
It is, yes, Lauer versus Freeland, lefty versus lefty. Yep. I think it's a very good spot for the over. It's what I've done all year, lefty versus lefty in Colorado, and those overs have flown. So.
Thanks for that look ahead. I like that right there. All right, what about Tigers and Angels with an over-under of 8.5? I'm seeing Tigers at plus 115, Angels at minus 135. I am going. Wow. I mean, Tigers don't hit
nothing. I'm betting.
You're not backing them against a right-hander. If they ain't hitting lefties, you sure as hell ain't doing them versus a right-hander.
You wouldn't think so, but I would if I were to bet it. Again, I'm not betting it. I'm really not. So don't rush out to the book and like, oh, Hockey Squirrel said. It's just if I had to. I think the line looks a little strange, especially after an ass beating yesterday to get a plus 115 here. I don't know. Looks kind of weird. I would take the Tigers at a plus 115.
I can't do it. I'm going to take the Angels at minus 135. Braves and Athletics with an over-under of 8. Braves minus 225. Athletics at plus 190. Wright versus Cole Irvin. Cole Irvin, a guy that's treated us Decent a couple times this season. He's also broken our hearts with some last batter strikeouts, but been impressed with Cole Irvin this season. I'm going to say that he pitches well, Wright pitches well. Give me under 8 in that matchup.
Yeah, another system play, and I'll run the risk of getting my heart broken again. Again, it's nothing I'm actually betting, but I think today might be a day for the Dogs. I'm going to go with Oakland Athletics.
All right, White Sox and Mariners over under of 7.5. White Sox plus 130, Mariners minus 150. I'm going over 7.5 here. Like how both these teams are hitting right-handed pitching right now. I still don't like that White Sox bullpen. Mariners bullpen's a little suspect in their own right, so I'll take over 7.5.
Between and we're looking at the Diamondbacks, right?
White Sox and Mariners.
Sorry about that. I think what I had told you is that Logan Gilbert at home with the Mariners, I think minus 150 is a fair price. That's what I think it should be. So that tells me that I'm not getting a lot of value, or any value for that matter. If it was minus 130 or something like that, where I thought it was a little bit off, I would take the Mariners. I like the Mariners to win the game, but again, it's not getting my money because I don't have perceived value. I will say, though, that I think that the Mariners win.
This is a dog that we both like. It says Diamondbacks at plus 140, Padres at minus 165 with an over-under of 7. I'm not trying to mess around with the total here. I like all the advantages Diamondbacks are getting. I'm backing those Diamondbacks at plus 140.
Absolutely. And between Diamondbacks and Red Sox, I think are going to be your best underdog plays for the day. There are some other viable options for underdogs, but I think you get into the less of a chance of win percentage as you get away from the Red Sox or the Diamondbacks. So I will go ahead and take both of them at a plus 140, being your best dogs of the day in both of our opinion.
I think one of those two wins for sure. I don't think you're going 0-2.
Yeah, if not both. If not both, really.
No, I agree. I'm just saying at worst case you get 1-1 in my mind.
Oh yeah, absolutely. And if you go 1-1 at plus 140, you've won money.
Yeah, you've turned a little bit. Even if the Red Sox were the one that hits a plus 125, won a quarter of a unit.
Yep. In the back half of the season, though, I really think we should just start playing more dog. I think I'm not saying like don't play any favorites.
Hold on, are we going back to the beginning of the season? Am I blindly betting every dog? Is this what I'm doing? Am I going back?
Because that didn't work, did it? It didn't work for you. It mostly doesn't work for anybody in any season. I guess I see some people do. And listen to this.
Week 1 in the NFL was the best week for dogs. I'm blindly betting every NFL dog this week.
Go ahead. And what I want to say, though, is I was just going to talk about NFL exactly. There's these people that are doing these, like, I don't know. Do I want to call them, like, PR things or whatever, and it's content, right? That, did you know last year if you took $100 on every single underdog that you'd be up X amount? Sure. Last season, how has that worked over every season? There are these like one-off seasons and whatnot, and it may work. There's some theories out there that there's a lot of new bettors. There's public money that's going to come in on favorites. Lines are going to be weird. It may work. It may. I would not recommend that. I will not be doing that just blindly. I like to really study and know what I'm getting into. It might work, though. That's just my fair warning, though, is that I know that there's going to be a lot of people following, tailing, watching people making content to do that. And my recommendation would be, see how it works for them. But I don't want to do it.
Yeah. Cool. All right. There it is. Tuesday edition here of the Payoff Pitch. Again, guys, I've been reading these comments. Let your voice be heard. You can always drop me a DM on Twitter if you guys want to do that, or you can post a comment here on the video afterwards. But just trying to get the pulse of everybody out there. Let us know kind of what your thoughts are as we wind down the end here of the baseball season and the end of Payoff Pitch. Sadly, I thoroughly enjoyed hanging out with you guys every single afternoon. So you guys have made this enjoyable. So with that being said, let's come back tomorrow. Let's come back hopefully with some winners today. And we'll come back tomorrow. We'll break down tomorrow's baseball slate. Have a good one, guys.
Have a good one. Bye.